Hello everyone and welcome to Tech Tricks and Fundamentals, and today we will be going over the basics of programming in C. We will discuss its history, what it is, and why you should study it. So what is it and what is its history? In today's world, almost everything we do has technology involved in it some way or the other. For example, computers, car, or digital clocks, phones, and even things like calculators are coded, but we just simply do not realize it. At the very core of some of these technologies presides the language C. The very popular Windows, which almost everyone knows about now, was first written in C. C first originated from the language BPCL by Martin Richards in 1966. As times evolved and we left the prehistoric ages, the language B emerged. But since it did not support many data types that modern computers now require, B was upgraded to C by Dennis Ritchie from 1969 to 1973. Nowadays, C is mainly used for Unix and Linux operating systems. For example, Chromebook run on Linux are mostly coded in C. So why should you learn C? When people first start coding and try to learn their first language, they will most likely go with Python or Java. But C in turns is the better choice. Since C is an old language, it has the basics that almost all other languages have. So for people to first learn C will establish the basics in their mind and they will also get a sense of how a computer works. There are also many pros that come with the language C. Some of the pros are that number one, C is the building blocks of many languages. Newly emerging powerful languages like Python and Java are all written in C. So once you learn C, not only will you be able to learn how to code, you'll also be able to completely look into the roots of these languages and deeply understand how they work. Number two, C has a very simple syntax and functions. There are only 32 keywords, therefore you can use most of the English words as you wish. It makes it easier to code and understand. There are also many libraries with built-in functions that you can include to make your life much easier. Because C was invented in the earlier days, it is very memory efficient and can work on even the oldest computers. No matter how old your CPU and computer is, C can work fast and efficiently. One reason of this is because the computer, if running on Windows, it builds the code into a .exe, which makes the machine easily readable. You do not have to convert it and manually change it or use a special IDE just to run the code. This also allows C to access memory and low-level computer operations, which makes it very powerful compared to other languages. However, with such a great language, there also comes cons. The, Con number one, there is a lot of buffer overflow in C. When something is not declared explicitly or if you forget to mention it, some other piece of information that is already in the system might overwrite your intended information. This can cause you to receive unexpected results and mess up your program. And sometimes you won't even recognize that it's a simple mistake like a buffer overflow and you'll go revamp the whole entire program, which will waste your time and work. Unlike C++, you cannot declare two variables in the same row. You'll have to write something like integer x is equal to 2 and integer x is equal to 3 twice to declare two different variables. This will cause your code to take up more space and will reduce the neatness and understandability of your code. Also, unlike Python and C++, C is not object-oriented. In fact, C was improved on and turned into C++ just to make it object-oriented. Unlike Python, C also requires you to write longer code even if you're writing a very simple program. What might take 2 lines in Python is bound to take 5 to 6 lines in C. We'll discuss this in a later video where we first write our first C program. Last but not least, our conclusion. As seen in the facts above, C is a very powerful and important language for programmers of all ages to know. While you decide what your first programming language should be, you should always consider C as an option. Although not many people talk about it and languages are like Python and Java are dominating and everybody wants to learn them, C helps you develop the basics. So once you know the basics, understanding most languages like Python and Java will become very simple because only the syntax will have changed. You'll know how the computer understands it, handles it, and you'll also know how it works. So if you want to learn more about C and you want to go deeper into C and learn how to code, make sure you leave a like and subscribe for more amazing videos coming soon. Thank you. Have a great day.